but I think that females should have a voice. And I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear the ladies' opinions. Now, I want to do this in a respectful way. I know my niggas on this podcast, they're a little nervous because the numbers is like kind of even. You know what I mean? They're a little nervous about that shit. You know what I mean?
Not quite.
Y'all
Not quite.
outnumbered.
Actually, they totally outnumbered.
They outnumbered.
Tim is the biggest feminist I know. You know
I'm
what I'm
We
saying?
got 5-2.
I'm
Right.
actually, I ain't gonna lie. Don't be coming after me, Queen. But don't do that.
Starring Timothy Ron, Cool Cam, Brittany Carter, TK, Faith, Erica Allen, Mimi. Shout out to the mamas.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Great
I got a
Apes Cafe.
solution.
This is Great Apes Cafe. We live and direct on the airways. I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves on this Mother's Day weekend. We're gonna start off with my sister-in-law, Faithless Faith. What it been? Go ahead, start it off. Who are you?
Hey, y'all. This your girl, Faith.
Peace, y'all. It's Queen Brittany.
Sliding in your mama DM, Miss Boss Todd.
That's it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kev. I already skipped myself.
I gotta use this mic.
Then go ahead.
What's up, man? It's your boy Cool Kev, live and direct.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Erica.
It's Mimi.
And y'all probably wondering why I have so many females on the podcast. And it's not the fact that, I want females on the podcast. Of course I want females on the podcast, but it's Mother's Day weekend. So shout out to all the mothers out there. I hope that you are having a fantastic Mother's Day weekend. I actually don't celebrate Mother's Day because I think every day should be a Mother's Day. So shout out to the queens taking care of their kids and doing what they want to do. I gotta drink my little Coca-Cola on that. Hold on.
I'm going to take a sip, too, because I got 4, and I take care of all of them. Okay?
But today's episode, I want to talk about woman talk. I want y'all to just air it out. I want y'all to let it out on the table. I feel like we live in a world in America right now where women rights are retrograding. And I feel like it is important for females to have a voice, which is why I want more than one woman on my podcast. I hope my podcast members can understand. I didn't talk to them about it, but I think that females should have a voice. And I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear the ladies' opinions. Now, I want to do this in a respectful way. I know my niggas on this podcast, they're a little nervous because the numbers is like kind of even. You know what I mean? They're a little nervous about that shit. You know what I mean?
Not quite.
Y'all
Not quite.
outnumbered.
Actually, they totally outnumbered.
They
'Cause
outnumbered.
Tim is the biggest feminist I know. You know
I'm
what I'm
We
saying?
got 5-2.
I'm
Right.
actually, I ain't gonna lie. Don't be coming after me, Queen. But don't do that. Queen said I'm the biggest feminist.
He the biggest
But
feminist
I
I
ain't
know.
gonna lie. I am a very, very big feminist.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where everybody else come from, but I come from a woman. And I couldn't imagine nobody telling my mom how much you should make less than a man and being degraded in any negative way. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to the real niggas who actually supported their mom. My mom is no longer here, RIP. But shout out to the real niggas who support their mom and making sure they do what they got to do. And all of the positive shit that comes with it, you know? Like, I'm the biggest feminist and I'm happy about that. Look up in the dictionary. Feminists basically mean that a woman should have equality in every level as a man. Now, I know my men, my niggas and my friends and all of that, they're like, I don't agree with that. Well, then fuck you. But I think that,
Agreed.
a woman should have equal rights, So, but I want the ladies that's laid out on the table, and I'm going to start this off with the queen, because I actually don't remember her actually starting off the episode. Or maybe she did. I just been drinking and I don't remember.
I mean, I agree with you 1,000%.
Okay. Look at the stack.
No, we should, because at the end of the day, we have to work and we have to pay bills and we have to take care of homes and we have to do the same thing. So why should our rights be any less than the male? It doesn't make sense to me. And to be honest, in my opinion, the female actually carries more weight, in my opinion, because y'all ain't really cleaning up the whole house, and
I don't know.
y'all could be.
Hey, Aaron, hey, DJ Barbarian. What,
I don't know.
Hey, DJ,
Y'all
what it
could
do?
be.
I know my producer, like, nah, that nigga Tim come home from work, start cleaning.
Tim don't count.
Hey.
X Tim out the equation. Tim is the biggest feminist I know.
I'm more clean than my own wife.
I believe that.
But the average.
Okay.
Speaking of the average woman has a day like my day today. I have to start at 6 a.m. And it's after 10 and I'm not even home yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just been one event after the other. And then guess what? It's the first of the month, so I had to pay the bills.
Oh, girl. But don't it feel good, though?
It feels great.
I ain't gonna lie, I
it
paid
feels
the
great
rent today. Y'all,
so that
feel-
means I should get the same equal rights as everybody else because I'm doing the same thing that the average man is doing.
Absolutely. It's a lot of females being both man and woman. Like they being the father and the mother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're absolutely right. That's why I guess I'm a feminist. I'm cool with that. Shout out to all my people who support females, support women all across the world. But how y'all ladies been doing?
I'm doing good. Can I say something? I'm totally fucking pissed. Okay?
Oh, shit.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. No, I'm pissed. At the end of the day, I'm pissed. I read the other day that the Supreme Court voted to abolish abortion nationwide.
Well, they didn't vote yet, but they did have a memorandum. Yeah, I think that's the name. But go ahead, continue.
It's bullshit.
Yes.
How the fuck you gonna tell me what to do with my body? And you yourself know how many other women that I speak to, coach, motivate, encourage. I know women that have been raped by family, gotten pregnant, young children,
more likely to get raped by a family
get
member
pregnant.
You
know, it's some women that get pregnant and their child might have a bad chromosome and they could possibly come out with Down syndrome. You know, at the end of the day, don't fucking tell me what I can and I cannot do with my own body. This is my body. It's my life. It's my choice. And if I get pregnant under any kind of circumstance and I decide that I don't want to have this baby, it's my fucking right to decide if I do or if I don't. Don't tell me what I can and cannot do. So I'm not even pro-abortion, but I'm not anti-abortion either. Right. Because you cannot tell people what to do with their body. It's completely wrong. It's wrong. Well, I don't see no laws being created to tell men what they can and cannot do with their bodies.
That's very
At
true.
the end of the day,
There's
true. Not one single law. And then America is built off of freedom of speech, equality, freedom of bullshit. Because then you say, we got freedom and then tell me what the fuck I cannot and cannot do and want to pass a law.
Right.
It's just bullshit.
If you look at it even from this perspective, so if the United States of America actually do pass the law, right? Let's say they pass a law, you're not even giving a situation like a living care wage for children, or like as far as like what I'm talking about, as far as like daycare, we pay for daycare. Now, while United States pay for daycare, you got a whole other list of countries who is free daycare. You got a whole other list of countries who the parents could go to work and do what they need to basically do, and then come back and don't have to pay for shit. But you want to. It's just other situations. We gotta look at it from a macro point of view, y'all. Think about it.
It's bullshit.
This happened
it's
50 years ago, where Roe versus Wade, that decision happened in the Supreme Court, right? I feel like if the judicial system was to roll back on that decision, we kind of retrograding 50 years back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think men should have any discussion when it comes to rights over a woman's body. We already been telling what females should do with their body for thousands of years. Look at all your different cultures.
Well, was this before Ketanji's appointment? Like,
no,
this
just
while
happened.
So she's in now, and she had a vote. She had a say.
I don't know.
No. There was, if memory served me right, there was a memorandum that got leaked. So they do an investigation. The Republican Party trying to figure out who leaked.
It's not
fact
smoke right now.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't believe in accidents. So
conspiracy, brother.
Okay, so this is what I said. This is what I told my niece. I said, so they 995 plus thousand people, almost 1 million people have died in the United States alone from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Now y'all trying to make us repopulate back? Or are you trying to force us on birth control so we can take your pharmaceuticals and disrupt our bodies and the harmony of how we function?
I ain't gonna lie, y'all gotta
like,
be careful.
what is it behind this? Because it's something else besides, we just want to bring this back up. Like, it gotta be. Right. It's something behind it.
What y'all think? Y'all quiet over to my right. What y'all think? I gotta push you on, sis.
You don't know what I think. So.
I do.
I
want to know
what you think. Let's talk. We might as well. You got the light on you right now. I want to know exactly what the hell.
Don't put the light on me.
So what you think about what's going on right now, based on this discussion? What you think?
That's much.
I mean, I think women should have the right to do whatever they want to do with their bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to have an abortion for whatever reason. They could have been raped. I mean, they should be able to have that choice to do so. That's just it for me.
That's just it.
I believe
they should have that choice.
I believe that too.
You know, if they want to abort it, okay, that's fine. You know, that's their
personal
what they
decision.
want to do.
Right. And the reason why I'm saying that, like, the argument is, from what I hear from the Republican side and some Democrats as well, they say, well, it's a fetus, it's alive. I get that. But isn't sperm alive?
Yeah.
Men, hear me out. So when y'all go and masturbate into all this porn, because porn addiction is a real thing. Look at the numbers. When you go out here masturbating to porn, jacking off or doing all sorts of shit, whatever that you do, my gosh.
It's aborting a lot of
think about it.
Yeah, in a sense.
You're killing millions of babies. Like, it's alive.
In a sense, yes, that's
biologically speaking, it's alive. I know y'all think I'm capping, and I'm really not. So if y'all not making an argument that men should stop masturbating, you can't make the argument about abortion. And to even add on to another hidden element, everybody want to talk about the abortion part, but nobody's want to talk about the quality of life. So when you have people who have these babies, we're not talking about the prison industrial complex. We're not talking about what real ghettos are, because we all know the government created ghettos. You look at your redlining, that's a whole nother subject for a podcast. You look at your housing disparities, that's a whole nother subject. You look at even the healthcare system is a fucking tragedy. Some people, like, you have Tulsa, prime example. The hospital got destroyed during the riot that happened back in the day, right? My numbers is off, so I can't give you the factual on that. And if that was to happen, if the Roe versus Wade was to be redacted from the Constitution, these people are going to be looking for health care. What's going to happen with that? Like, it's just all this other nuances.
I don't want to go off of it yet.
They talk about, we like, especially like some of my other friends, I don't believe in abortion. All right, let's talk about quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. A lot of my constituents who talk about, I believe in abortion, you're privileged, unfortunately. Prime example, Mitch Anthony, don't come after me, bro. We had this discussion. You pro-choice, right? Not pro-choice, pro non-abortion, all of that. I don't believe in abortion. Hold on. But you, my friend, you have a dad who makes money. You make money. You know who you are. You're privileged. You're Caucasian. You're Caucasus. Come from the Caucasus Mountains. Well, not you, but, ancestor-wise, right? And what I'm getting at is, I don't think you have a say-so, though, in this argument, not just because of the fact of skin color, not because of Black people having to deal with 400 years of slavery and basically sitting back and watching y'all play Monopoly.
Demographically.
When it comes to, like, I'm not knocking you that. What I'm getting mad at is, it's just that women should have a say-so over their own body. I just couldn't imagine females marching, don't masturbate. No masturbating. Because by definition,
and I ain't gonna say that.
Fetus,
okay.
Do what you do.
I mean,
I ain't gonna say that.
as soon as it come out, it's dead anyway. I mean, it stays in a woman's body for 5 days, but when it come out on your hand or a towel, I mean, that shit dead.
No. It's still alive for an extra 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, them 3 to 5 minutes versus 5 days inside a woman's body, I mean, there's no merit there.
So you think about that, and you think about the fetus. By definition, it's alive. Like, this whole abortion situation, I have a lot of people, and I don't know why. I see why the Republican Party want to play on the abortion part, and some of the Democrats, they want to talk about, it's bad. You want to pull at the heartstrings of so many people who had an abortion. You want to pull at the heartstrings of so many people who contemplated abortion. And it comes down to just a woman should have a right. I don't think no man should have any say so at all. I don't even like even talking about this.
Well,
I mean,
who are
but
we talking about?
why should they have a say so? They don't carry a baby. They don't go through the many changes a woman goes through. I mean, they just get a nut. They happy, roll over, and go to sleep.
Well, I don't know about the
But who are we talking about? Wait a minute. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the sons of slave owners' descendants. Look, it's already been proven from Europe to China to Russia to the United States. Their whole population is going to be wiped out of America by 2030. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that they have left to preserve their heritage, to preserve their ancestry, is to make sure that they're never wiped out.
Right.
You're looking at the trees and not seeing the forest.
right.
That's their point.
You know,
that's what I'm telling you. Like,
There's a hidden agenda. Though,
I thought about
truth
that.
is stranger
TK.
than fiction.
I thought about that, and you know what? I meant to Google how many Caucasian people get abortions compared to other. I meant to Google that.
I'm not gonna lie. You could Google that now. I'm going to tell you right
Truth
now.
is stranger than fiction.
If you want to know where an abortion clinic is, it's always located close to a gentrified hood.
They created the Tuskegee experiment to put syphilis on every black man. They took women out of North Carolina and just one person and it evolved to other people that couldn't have babies and they couldn't figure it out. Come to find out, it was their doctors.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always been an extermination of color, but the thing is, it's rolling back on them.
Well,
period.
The one argument, just to add on to what you just said, the one argument I would say about people who are against abortion, their argument does hit. But where's your abortion clinics at? Where they have the signs up? In the ghetto. It'd be close to a ghetto. Every place I've been at, especially, maybe not so much in North
Everything
Carolina.
to kill a black man is close to a ghetto. The gun shop, the liquor shop.
The liquor store.
Name it.
Look at that.
Right.
I mean, well, we all know the ghetto is created to hold a black man back. And,
Man.
By the racist white
Sad
man.
to say, that's not true. It's to keep your women there and keep you in jail. Because guess what? If a woman is on Section 8, your man can't live there.
Section 8, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That's Section 8.
How does a family, how does a parenthood happen from a man not being in the house?
The government say, here, if you make sure you break up with that woman,
they
y'all don't get married. We're gonna give you some food stamps. We're gonna give you some funding for your housing, as long as that man is not a part of the equation. And I mean, that's, y'all know what
2030 was a date from 3 different countries. The biggest, the ones with the most scientific resources around them. Europe, China, and the US all confirmed that America would be overpopulated with color by 2030.
Yes.
It's a fact.
They've been saying that, yeah.
They've been saying that, and they don't like that, which is why KKK or some people on the right got empowered in a sense. But you got that is definitely borderline. Some people would say that's borderline conspiracy. You might be right.
That's why you had Charlottesville. That's why you got the marches that you've been seeing on Washington with the Black Lives Matter. It ain't about Black Lives Matter, none of that. It's because their heritage is being wiped out completely.
And I hope I don't lose my audience by saying this. I don't support Black Lives Matter. Let me tell you why. It sounds good. I'm black. I do support my black community. But when you look at their contingency plan, if you look at the amount of money they made, you look at your 50 worst neighborhoods in this country, and if they utilize those funds with the 50 worst neighborhoods in this country, you would see a big difference. However, the leaders of the Black Lives Matter organization, they got mansions, they got Bentleys. I mean,
why not?
Over there like, fuck y'all.
But why not? hey, ain't nobody saying nothing to Elon Musk buying all the shit and motherfucker, he's sending up $2 million worth of space shuttles every week. Ain't nobody saying nothing to him.
Elon argument
I can't be mad at what people spend their money on. Look, if I ain't never had shit and I did for everybody else and then got to do for myself, I'm gonna do for myself.
On that note,
that's a different thing. My agenda doesn't change my lifestyle.
But he's not contributing towards Black lives.
But my whole thing is,
but when you look and you see that they spent money on other things, you completely forget that they already looked out for us.
Did they?
You damn right. We got policy. We got policy that your own president won't even acknowledge right now. He won't even acknowledge it right now.
That's true.
But he put a black White House speaker in just so you could forget about it. We don't look at shit. We look at what's in front of us. You don't look past none of that shit.
Okay, I
policy
agree with
is what matters.
That is.
If you don't fight for policy, nothing matters.
TK.
However,
Tim just agreed with you.
Yeah.
However, I would say this though.
Okay.
You got to think about it like this though.
Yeah, he did agree with me.
He did.
I mean, policy. You can't argue against policy. Like
you can.
But it's just it doesn't look. It's just I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I was a leader of an organization that looked out for Black people, I don't think I would actually try to have a mansion. I just know, like, Nas made a song back in the day featuring Lauryn Hill, and he said, if I ruled the world, I free all my sons. Well, he didn't say that, but Lauryn Hill, I know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm getting at is, I could made a different impact. If you got $50 million, and just not even your 50, well, yeah, $50 million, what $1 million could do to a gentrified neighborhood? Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Right. But then I got to do it for this neighborhood and this city, this neighborhood and this city and this neighborhood. And we just talking about one state. You know what I'm saying? That's not talking about
selling Houston. They were selling Houston more for like 50, 60,000.
I just follow the money, and the money don't add up. I'm just, that's my own problem. I'm a numbers guy, and I'm not even good at math. My producer will tell you, I'm not good at math. But he will tell you, though, this. At the numbers,
the United States ain't even got their checkbook. How do we know what they spent money on? I only know because the people that were founding of Black Lives Matter came out and they put the money out and gave those checks out. I watched it. I seen the photos. I see. Hey, I can only lie, but I can only go on my eyes.
The reason why I agree with you, though, the main reason why I agree with you,
if you want to spend money on the house, spend money on. If you got it and you're still doing what you're supposed to do for our betterment, then do what you got to do.
I feel like Black Lives Matter was
y'all got rappers out here making $50 million. How much would they do for you?
And not even but not even just that.
Come on, y'all watch them niggas every day.
Giving money to the community. Look, giving money to the communities alone.
I don't want that
enough.
though. No, I don't want the giving.
It's not.
I don't need you to
push got to change.
I don't need you to give me fish.
That's what matters to me.
I don't need people to give us fish. I need teach me how to fish, not me, but teach communities how to fish.
They put Black men and women in law school. I've kept up with what Black Lives Matter is doing because white folks want to tell you what they think they're doing.
And I agree with you 1,000% on that one. You absolutely right.
Yeah.
The fact that they over here paying for that, I do remember. Okay,
I can't be mad at you for buying a Bentley, bitch. You live in Cali.
I don't know. I got mixed emotions about that though. I got mixed emotions, but I'm from the projects. I might do some shit like that too.
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
I'm going foreign, honey.
I'm
going foreign. Tim gonna judge me because I'm going foreign.
But see, I said that for money. This is why I can't be a cop. Can you imagine?
What are your
I pull over a drug dealer, bro.
doing?
If I pull over a drug dealer, it's just like Training Day. I'll be just like Denzel. King Kong with the spit on the bottom lip and everything.
Your own entertainment artists are looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for nobody else. Terry Crews, when he sued Weinstein, what did he give to you? Nothing.
I go, wow, Weinstein.
What did he give to the next person that was going through the same thing he was going through? Nothing. He stayed there counting his money with his mouth closed. Y'all got to look past that. Look, you got to look past that.
Let's look at it on this perspective. Let me ask the ladies this question though. How are y'all doing? I feel like y'all need to have. Don't you have something to say?
It's Mother's Day.
I think they got a lot to say.
Why? Why are you quiet over there, sis?
Mimi look like she got a whole lot to say.
My sis,
Go ahead and say something. I don't got no filter. I don't got
Girl, freedom of speech. Go ahead.
Yeah, say what's on your mind.
I don't got no filter, brother.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Miss No Filter. Let me ask you this question.
What is it?
So do you agree with like abortions or you don't?
I mean, I'm gonna get one regardless. So I don't want a
How
baby.
would you feel if you weren't able to get one?
I don't want no baby.
How would you feel if you wasn't able to get an abortion?
I'm gonna find a way. Because guess what? I don't want a baby.
And that's what's being said.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to talk about that.
Yes.
The dangers, if you look back at in the 1950s and 40s and 30s, backyard clinics of females dying trying to get an abortion.
Somebody gonna be in their apartment.
I'm gonna do it regardless.
So let me ask you something.
Because I like to have sex, but I don't want no baby.
And they're locking up people
but you
and physicians for that reason.
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
They're locking up physicians right now for that reason.
Some physicians are
because some physicians,
it's better without a condom.
It was no filter.
What's the Hippocratic
oath?
to protect life
in general. You can't take life.
Right. That's
I
a
can take
Hippocratic
whatever I want.
oath.
It is.
Right, but so
Because
if you're raped,
my life gives
But
another
listen.
life life.
Right.
And I don't have to if I don't want to.
And you don't.
and that's
right.
true. But
You
if
should
a
have
woman
a
is
choice.
raped, you think they should have to raise that baby?
No.
They should
No,
not.
But it should be your
So
choice.
they should be able to get an abortion if
Right.
they wanted
It should
to.
be your
But
choice.
Period.
There are
But
people
then
that live
again,
with it.
I mean, it's life,
Now that
but
I'm sitting here thinking about it, like I'm on birth control, but if you think about it, that's still kind
Killing
of like
babies.
Yes.
having a. Now I'm sitting here thinking about, I gotta go get
It's
this
like
shit taken out.
having an
That would be fucked
abortion,
up.
bitch.
Well,
Killing
But it
babies.
is though, because I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, well,
That's what birth control do when the baby gets in there.
yeah.
Killing the baby.
so it's
I mean,
really
same
like
shit.
I'm not with
no.
abortions. It is.
I
same
only
shit.
agree with you
Because what
25%
comes
on
after
that.
What comes
Same
So how is
shit.
it
25%.
not though?
You take away
Because it's keeping you
abortions.
from
No, I'm
Having
talking
a
about.
You
baby.
take away
pregnant, but you're
Plan
right,
B.
steady like.
That's what they
Have all
said.
If you
Well,
take
yeah,
away
yeah, but-
abortions, you
yeah,
gotta
they
take
They
away
started
Plan B.
discussing, but they
So
have
birth
started
control is
discussing
really
it.
like another
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
way.
No,
It is.
So no.
it's a
Now that I
contraceptive.
do,
It's like a
I
plan B.
personally
Yeah.
have a
Now I'm
problem
sitting
with
here
that.
thinking,
No.
I don't believe in abortion,
It is.
but I
Let me
was like,
interject.
I'm
I have to
like,
interject.
It is.
I disagree with y'all
I
95%.
don't think so.
Why?
So
You don't know a woman's
So-
body.
So no.
Now I'm sitting here thinking about
I'm
it.
not
I
talking
never
about that.
looked
I'm
at
talking
it
about the
like
actual
that way.
medication.
But it's
Birth control?
It depends on what type of birth control you
Because
have.
you're still killing the baby.
But all
If you-
birth control do the
okay,
same
because
thing.
if you
It does.
haven't,
It
okay,
does.
it
Fucking
says
baby. It kills
eventually
it.
that girl's
Kill
gonna
the
get
baby.
pregnant unless she's on birth control or y'all using protection. So technically,
Exactly.
birth
Let me ask you the
control-
That birth
question.
control,
Like-
the
And
baby-
their periods
it's
be a
killing the
whole lot
baby.
The
heavier.
periods will be heavier.
Yeah.
Okay, it's killing the baby.
But is that?
That's why the
But
parents
some will argue
heavier.
conception.
Because you
Okay.
miscarrying.
You are.
Really?
Yeah,
That's why
basically.
we
you
know
are.
about it. We
I
know
think
about
it's
it.
really-
Finish with my research.
Now they got me thinking.
Y'all just now catching on.
Think
Your
about it.
period be mad heavy.
It
Why
do.
you mad heavy?
You gotta talk.
You killing that baby. Like you're stopping it from forming.
Having a
Hold on.
miscarriage.
Let me
I didn't know.
interject. If
But
memory,
look, think about it though.
there's a
Like,
difference.
think about it.
Put that shit together. Put that shit
Y'all might
together.
be right. But some will argue. I can hear my friends right now. No, I got to disagree with
So
y'all.
explain it to me because
I got to disagree with y'all.
That's a plan B.
I want to see this.
It's a permanent plan B.
Exactly.
Let's say.
That's
Now
what a
think
plan
about
B
it.
do.
It is.
Kill
the
your
baby.
baby.
How is it not,
Period.
Tim?
Okay,
You gotta speak on
Go
both.
ahead, because
Okay.
I wanna
You
hear
gotta
that.
speak
So
on
memory
both.
serve me right. If memory serve me right, when conception happened, when sperm fertilized the egg, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So 9 times out of 10, conception didn't happen. The egg got destroyed from the birth control before conception happened.
So to kill the baby.
So kill the
Dude,
It
who
kills
said
the baby.
Listen to what I just said though.
Kills the egg.
If the sperm swims to the egg and it kills the egg before the sperm even.
That's
Okay,
killing
but
the
they
baby.
wasn't on
It
birth
makes
control.
contact.
But if the birth
So-
control wasn't there, what would happen?
Right.
You will have a baby.
You would have a baby.
Yes.
So when you
But-
have that
but-
period,
but-
it's killing
Big
whatever
Killing
that.
your baby.
Big facts.
Exactly.
That's just like
Yeah.
the
We
ejaculation and the sperm
know.
dying.
When
That's
the
the
period
same
super
thing.
heavy,
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
I still have to
And
do
then the
my-
next month
Hey,
they
look.
regular and they light.
Exactly.
I think we
Because you
beat
ain't
you
had
on
sex
this
that
one.
much.
I think,
You think you say you beat me on this one?
Yeah, because so birth control.
I like how they want to talk. Look. They want to talk
abortion.
now because they said we got to find something to beat him at.
Because we
I
know.
just look.
In fact,
We
But
know.
I do know
Because
birth
it's like-
control is different depending on what
You
type you
know,
have.
like,
If you have
I
your
don't believe in
implant,
abortion, but I got
don't, Erica, don't look at me like that. If you have your implant, what you got in your arm and
And
the
it
pill
kills babies.
works 2 different ways.
And
No,
all
No,
it
that
it
doesn't.
don't.
You
No, it
walked
don't.
into
I
that
had
one.
both. No, it do
You
not
had
work
both?
2 different ways. I've had both. It do not. It works the
So
exact
it's the
same
same
way.
way.
Heavy period. Extra
But heavy
period
period doesn't mean you having a miscarriage.
What if you just hunt?
I heard
If
some
you just
get don't have no period at all. Now what's that about?
Exactly. See,
And the
Some of them don't have no period at all.
Exactly.
I got a problem with
Listen,
that
they
too.
don't always
But let me
be
ask you a
heavy,
question though.
though.
Do you have a heavy?
I ain't taking
Now,
They
this is
don't
a little bit-
always be
This is a little
heavy,
bit too
though.
much
you want to get
information.
straight to the
Take
facts,
it.
bro. I don't have no period at all.
You walked
Me
into
neither,
it. Go
But at the end of the
ahead.
day, if I
Me
take this birth control out, I have sex tomorrow, I'm gonna be pregnant. Cause
It is.
I did that.
And
And I
I
got
got
a
a
second one.
period. Period.
Yeah, like it's killing
And
babies.
you know because when you have that
Yes,
next
I know.
period, you're clotting real bad. You
Yeah,
know what it
big
is.
ass chunks coming out.
Blood!
Bro,
I mean,
Just
that's
like
what it is.
Dead
It's
babies.
that baby.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Okay,
Yeah,
I would say this though.
I mean, y'all wanted women on the podcast.
So
So,
do y'all
This is
agree
very
that
true.
it kill babies or it don't? Like,
No, I'm
It
not. I'm
does.
not agreeing or disagreeing.
Man.
For I don't know enough. But I would
I
say
salute all y'all.
If I do say this,
I
though,
salute all y'all. I'm glad
now
you're
I'm
boy.
starting to feel bad.
That's what I'm saying. A man shouldn't have no say so.
look. First of all, y'all know I'm on y'all side. First of all,
We know
He's playing good cop, bad cop.
So TK, how do you feel? Do you think birth control kill babies or?
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
It's
like
Tim, we
spermicide.
already know how you feel. You still trying to
Like
fight for that,
spermicide.
but
Yeah.
deep down inside,
wait
you
a
know
minute.
we right.
It beats
So
what
Kev, how do you feel?
It does.
How do you feel, Kev?
I feel like it do.
It does. A nigga be happy
Why?
that you
Why
on birth
you
control.
think it
cuz.
I'm just. I mean, especially like listening to. You know, all
I don't know.
these
I gotta do my
females'
more research.
explanation.
I want to argue on that, but I ain't got enough
You can't 'cause
information.
of
I'm
your
mad.
hair.
I
You
gotta
feel
like-
I
If
don't
you
know
haven't
enough.
learned nothing yet, you can't argue with a woman, baby.
History only repeats
I don't know.
itself. History
can't.
only
I
repeats
don't know.
itself.
Now
That's how
when
I
it comes
feel.
to their bodies and what we go through.
Well, I don't even like to argue on that. I don't think I want to have
Think
a say
about
so
what the
on y'all
world would
And
be
body.
with
like.
them making that
No.
law, it's gonna make a lot of people
It
get
won't
on
be
birth
no
control,
world.
which is it's still gonna kill babies.
Won't be no
So
world.
Well, the
they're
thing is,
like taking abortions away, but then again, it's like they're pushing people to get birth
Birth
control.
control.
or if they don't
Which
do
is
birth
still
control,
kill babies
away.
if they
And
don't
birth
do birth
control don't work
control,
for everybody.
they do.
Yeah.
They
And
do.
it don't. I got
uns-
pregnant off of birth
I
control.
cannot.
That's big fact.
and then they find
I
other
cannot.
ways to try to.
I had my son off of birth control.
If I get on something that changes the harmony of my cycle, that's a problem for
And
me.
it's dumb.
Yeah.
Because
It's
without
hard to
it,
deal with.
And I know some
A
women
lot
that
to
have
deal with.
irregular cycles and things like that. When I was younger, I did too. But in my adult years, I went 8 years without birth control and without having another baby, just from tracking my calendar. Calendar.
Yeah, I was
know
gonna
how to
say
track it.
that.
You gotta know
I
how
was
to
gonna
track
say
it.
that.
You got to know how to
you
track
never
it.
birth
Some
control
girls
at all?
have. Some
I haven't
girls
been-
do have that.
No,
They got
well-
their little calendar where it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
Some days it'll tell you like
But
when you're
everybody's
more
different.
fertile.
I can't do that
Yeah.
shit. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get
so
pregnant.
it's called ovulation.
had
They
baby.
track your
Yeah,
calendar.
yeah.
Right, because I personally know that without birth control, I
You
know
can still not have
exactly
no
my
baby.
cycle is
Yes.
coming exactly here.
Right.
It's gonna last this many
That's
days.
right.
I know when it's going off. You know what I'm saying? And I
True.
know 14 days from the day that it came on,
Yep.
I'm ovulating.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I can track that, but you put me on birth control and my cycle is heavy and I'm cramping
All over the
worse and my cycle might come twice
most
that month or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you are disrupting the harmony of my body and I'm
Yeah.
not willing to do that.
That's right.
You know, I'm just
Exactly.
not.
Facts.
You messing with all my chakra balance and it ain't
Period.
about to happen.
I need to hear that.
Yeah.
Period.
No.
I swear, I got
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe. We live and direct on the airwaves. I want to talk about this. So let me go ahead and gear the situation. We're going to start. I'm going to make sure I end up in
It's
this.
a good way to go into Kevin Samuels right here.
But I want to talk about Kevin Samuels.
Yes, Lord.
And
And
I also-
a good soul.
That was a sad situation. I know a lot of people give him a little bit of rhetoric because they believe that he's sexist, perhaps. RP. It doesn't matter if you're sexist or not.
Not sexist. Because
Some
he got
people-
on men and
some
women.
people- yeah, he did get on men and
guess
women,
what?
though.
When he got on the men, nobody said nothing. When he got on the women, all the women were upset.
But
I didn't see that
that
footage.
sound like women.
He definitely got on men. I watched him. I watched him
seen
get
him got
on
on
men.
men.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
After I seen him
Yeah.
completely degrade and disrespect this woman on video, I just never watched him again. Never. I did not. I mean, you cannot blame a traumatized person. You know what I'm saying, for their circumstance. You know, people don't decide when they're young. Oh, come fuck me up and fuck my mentality up and fuck my life up. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Now I'm an
But
adult.
I can't let you shoot the Neverland neither in
That's
your
true.
mind. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
When
But
you
it's the
really
way you
living
go
in a
about
certain
it.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only
right.
in no
difference.
way, form, or fashion is it okay for a man to disrespect me. And I feel like that about every single black woman, every single woman at this point.
Right.
At this point, because white women go through a lot of the same bullshit that we go through.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and that's
can hear
just the truth.
a lot of
So-
a lot of females. And just to add on to that, I can hear a lot of females and men. It's always an exception to the rule,
Yeah.
right? I feel like it has to be like if I respect you, right? Mm-hmm. So why would I would never disrespect Queen Brittany, y'all, because I respect her, and I'm pretty sure I'm hoping that she won't disrespect me.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? So what I'm getting at, it's a give and take relationship when it comes to that concept of just having mutual understanding. I feel like there's a lot of men and women who want to be controlling in a relationship.
Yes.
If it's a friendship level or something serious, they want. It's all about a control factor and miscommunication.
Go ahead. I was just having this conversation. I was just gonna say.
No, but the truth is that that is it. That is it. But at the end of the day, if you're with a toxic person and you get to the point where you are disrespectful and degrading and calling them names. Yes. Your ass is just as toxic as the person that you're with.
But are you leading the whole thing? Like in your mind, what you say to a man probably has resonance to you. Like it makes sense to you. But to a man, you can't look at that man and his feelings and how he feel about it.
There ain't no excuse.
That is true.
Let's keep it real. If we gotta respect the woman's feelings, you gotta respect the man.
You do, but
I agree with that.
Men gotta let the woman go have fun too, because
what do you mean by having fun?
Not
they don't want you to do shit.
Okay,
they don't want you to do shit
with my girl.
They don't want you to do shit.
Why would you have an attitude?
Man. They don't want you to do shit, but sit your ass in the house and
get
us some ass when they want it.
Hold on. Back up, Chief.
That's it.
That's just one at a time.
That's
Listen.
it.
I be trying to get my wife out the house all the time. I babysit
Tim,
my
we're not talking about
Wait a minute. Let me make it simple.
We're not talking about you.
How many people here? Wait a minute. How many people here were raised by both man and woman, father and mother in the house?
Oh,
not in the same house, but yes.
Not in the same house.
Not in the same house.
No. Hold on. I'm talking about from the government.
Hold on, man.
The government's definition of you having a father and mother in the house.
I just want to say one thing though.
I was raised with a lady and a man, but at the end of the day, it wasn't healthy. So
right. So how do you think? How do you think men being raised by nothing but women?
My parents was together, but it wasn't healthy.
It wasn't healthy. Some people it's healthy. Some people you gotta watch your mama get beat on. Some people like
they feel like they have that reasoning to be emotional because they were raised by nothing but women. I can't blame a man for wanting to be out there and do whatever you want to do and be emotional about doing it. It's the emotion that's pushing it.
At the end of the day,
it really
we can disagree without disrespect.
But
it's called communication.
Exactly.
You don't have to get disrespectful.
Uncles in the house. Let's be real.
Everybody
let's be real. Some mamas had the nigga uncle. It was Uncle AJ today, Uncle BJ tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It was.
I can honestly
but
say
the father wasn't never present. He wasn't never there constantly.
Okay, go ahead, Kev.
I can honestly say. I'm gonna give it a second. I gotta give it a second because say power off, but I can honestly say, like, I stayed with my dad for a minute, I stayed with my mom for a minute, but I never was like one of those people to be like trying to disrespect a woman. Like I always, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I might fix her car, I might take her to eat, I might, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never really, you know, that's why I understand the situation at hand, but I never was one to actually be disrespectful. Like I just went half with my mom on the bed for Mother's Day, queen bed for the house. I be in there, fix the toilet seat. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's
I know,
what you're supposed to do, though.
Like, but some people just ain't about that shit. Like, no, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some people raised up by their dad. They dad showing them how to just be like too masculine.
Yeah.
Some people too masculine.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to balance themselves out.
So if I can say a man can make you more masculine, why can't I say a woman can make you more emotional?
It don't matter how you are raised.
I feel
it don't matter how you raised.
I feel like it is. I feel like it do
not matter how you raised.
Because you can make a difference at the end of the day.
You can change.
But is that
choices are your own? Choices your own.
But is that child?
I wouldn't be in my
Is that child then forced to just deal with?
Hold on, okay, one person.
Yeah.
One person.
If somebody was raised up to disrespect women, they might end up disrespecting women too until they meet a woman that try to teach them different.
Yeah.
But if somebody was taught, one thing, they gonna do that one thing for a while.
So can I ask a question? I just want to ask a question.
I don't agree with that because you know what's right and what's wrong.
Exactly.
It's not okay to disrespect a woman.
One more. No, because I just want to explain something.
No, I ain't to explain.
I just want to ask a question.
I was raised by a junkie. Am I a junkie?
No, listen.
Point proven.
Look, so all right. Let me put this in a simple version.
I disagree with what you said.
Let me put this in a simple version, right? So if I know how to work on cars, right?
Right.
And you don't know how to work on cars, right? You got to go through some valuable lessons of me showing you how to fix your brakes, how to change your oil. Then you can go in there and do that shit yourself.
Right.
You're not about to just be like, the oil needs change. You don't know that.
So this is my question. So let's say y'all do have y'all mom and y'all dad, and not saying my parents was just shit because they do what they can. So let's say your mom is on the streets and she ain't really there, and your dad not shit, and then in the long run you get somebody pregnant. So you're not gonna be shit either. Like, so you can't really go off of how you was raised. Like, yeah, I get what y'all are saying.
No, I can't say that.
You want to be better than your parents.
Hold on.
But how?
Because how you're structured is how your foundation was.
Yeah, but no, it's not.
Let me hold on.
I feel like that.
I got to
I'm nothing like my parents.
My father in my life.
I'm nothing like my parents.
My father made $200,000 a year.
I agree. I actually disagree with all
I was raised good.
I disagree
with what y'all
from
just
a rough
said.
family too. Like, I love,
but you're not rough on your kids.
No.
You do what you gotta do for your kids.
Period.
Okay, so let me give you my perspective real quick. I disagree with y'all because it's nature versus nurture.
Yes.
If I was grew up in a house where both my parents was functional drug addicts. Mom.
So you want to be a functional drug addict?
Listen.
This is actually
just
mayhem.
Everybody's different. Everybody's situation is different. So
I never saw my parents do drugs, but I heard them sniffing cocaine.
Right, go ahead.
Dad, I love you to death.
You never saw it.
I never saw it, but I heard it.
He never saw it.
Listen. I've been through some shit where my mom overdosed and she survived 3 times. You know what I mean? I had a path where I could have do drugs. I could have. Oh shit, my mom over here. She get like that. It's called nature. But my choice I decided to make, which I agree with me.
The point I'm making.
It's a choice of your own. Obviously not a choice of theirs.
I agree with you.
But in a different universe,
But we're not in a different
But you
universe.
also have male influence. You also have male influence.
Yes and no.
Yes
and no. Because it's all come down to what choices you have to make.
Like,
nature versus nurture has no. Nature versus nurture has nothing to do with the choices you make in life.
That's the point I'm making.
Your argument is disqualified. I hate when I hear people say, I've been through this, I've been through that. Okay, this is just, let's get into an argument for religion. I can't say I'm a Christian just because my mom worshiped Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
My argument is,
that's the point
it's
we're
all
making,
about
Tim.
how your walk of life, how you're mental and
that's
being.
the point we're making.
Right.
That's the point. Okay, I didn't know.
That was the point we're trying to make. You make your own choices regardless of your parents or your background. You make your own
how you was raised is an excuse because
it is an excuse.
Every generation is going to be different.
But I'm going to say this though. Sis, I promise I'm going to pass this mic. My problem I have what I hear from y'all talking about y'all situation for the past 3 minutes, y'all was screaming, was the fact.
I was just trying.
Whatever.
It was the fact that
screaming.
I feel like y'all problem is not the nature versus nurture. Y'all problem is the power factor y'all have with men or women. Am I lying? Am I wrong?
At the end of the day, your foundation does matter 100%. You may not make the same choices that they make, but I can guarantee you that your subconscious thinking is running off of what you saw while you were growing up.
That is true.
You got
this day I went to bed and I cried. I'm like, damn, but
that's all I was
get up and I'm like,
you
I got kids to feed. I got kids that's looking at me like,
you got
they
shit to
ain't
do.
about to see me fucking cry.
And you want to be brought up better than you've been brought up.
So let me say this.
I'm gonna make sure to have a better life.
One at a time. Okay. What?
But you got a cast full of females. It ain't gonna be no one at a time. You got a bunch of females, baby.
That's just true.
But you wanted females on the podcast.
But y'all, listen though, y'all was trying to tell me that I ain't had to learn that though. Like I was trying to explain to y'all how I had to learn.
But it don't matter what you learn.
You should know how to treat a woman.
It got something to do with it because that's how you learn to not be
like
I
had to learn on my own how to do what I'm doing.
But you made the choice to learn. That's what I'm saying.
It's your choice.
Some people make the choice not to learn.
Exactly.
Man, my dad, well, God bless his dad. My dad used to kidnap people and shit. Like,
but do you?
I don't think y'all. My dad kidnapped a woman, fed her bread and water.
But do you?
But no, that's what
exactly. That's your choice.
But look though,
that's your choice.
I had to learn that on my own though.
Yeah, your choice.
It didn't come.
Your choice, right?
But y'all not understanding the fact that I had to learn that though. Y'all
still
just trying to
no.
Y'all trying to
learn.
Y'all grew up in different.
Brittany, what was you gonna say to it? What was you about to add to it?
She ready? Go ahead, talk to her.
I want to know. Go ahead.
That was loud. That's a whole lot of editing.
She's been the quietest. I gotta know what she think about it. Please.
That's why she queen.
Make sure I look good, Aaron.
My opinion, and no disrespect, Queen Mimi. You know, I really feel like you know that's totally based off of your experience alone, right? But at the end of the day, I would like it if we could all like think from a more broad perspective.
Yes.
Because who I am today, I was not 5 years ago.
Right.
And prayerfully, in 5 years from now, I'll be a better person than I am today, right? So would you say it's fair that maybe you keep attracting people that are in their process and haven't yet learned the things that they need to learn to be able to provide for you what you want? You know, it doesn't mean that this guy is not going to be shit forever. Right. It just means that you just ended up with this person
that ain't shit.
Right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't learned all the things he had to learn yet. You know, because life is a growing and a learning experience. At the end of the day, my life is different from my mom. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a very hardworking woman. She always had 2 or 3 jobs, you know, and just to throw this out there, by the time my mom was my age, you know, she had already been married before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 36 and I have never been married. You know, I don't make the same exact choices at the end of the day, but subconsciously I do. You know what I'm saying? Subconsciously, I do. Based off of my mom was married, but her early marriages were abusive and they were full of trauma and control and conflict. And I mean physical abuse and sexual abuse. You know, my mom was raped by her own husband. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, even before her marriages, she was raped off by a nigga in the streets, like drug off the block in Jersey, walking home from work, and somebody snatched my mom and pulled her in a dark alley and raped her. You know what I'm saying? So even though I don't make the same decisions as her, my reason that I am not married yet now is because I've had such a hard time learning how to think healthy and make healthy decisions in my life and my relationships. So even though I didn't marry these men, I was still attracting the same type of men that was coming into my mom's life. Right, so at the end of the day, my foundation meant everything. Now, I didn't stay with these men. Right. I didn't stay with these men. You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't stay.
But you
I left,
the same
but
type
I attracted
of
the same way because I had the same the same fears, the same insecurities, the same beliefs. Right. You know, and my thing was I just didn't see what was healthy, so I didn't know how to allow the right person in. I kept allowing. Right. So at the end of the day, if you end up dealing with a nigga that ain't shit, believe me, sis, he showed you from the beginning that he wasn't shit. It was your choice that you continued to understand that. And guess what? Your foundation allowed you to stay in a situation with somebody that wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't mean that nigga ain't gonna be shit forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I have dealt with niggas that ain't shit. I have, but I have also dealt with men, real men, respectful men, working men, fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And I've dealt with guys like that, and it still didn't work. Because at the end of the day, no matter how good he was, if you ain't for me, you ain't for me.
You're not for me.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't align, we don't align.
And I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely do get what you're saying.
What? Since she
and
hit
I feel you on all
that.
them types of levels. But at the same time, I still feel like your choice is your choice. I done dealt with the same shit that you dealt with. The same type of mother figure that you had, I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, mama. Okay.
Damn.
Yes, okay. Well, everybody in this house knows. You don't know me, so you don't know.
Right.
But my mother not shit for real.
I'm sorry,
She's really
Queen.
the worst
Yeah.
type of mother you can ask for.
I ain't gonna lie.
But she showed you.
No, my sisters take up for her.
Yeah.
They take
And
up
you
for
gotta
her,
edit that part.
but she's not.
We're
The
not
last
gonna-
time she spoke to her grandson was 2 years ago.
But you took something from it. You did.
What did I take from
You
it?
know that person and the way that they word isn't
Isn't
what
what
you
I want
are.
to be.
Definitely.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Your choices are your own.
But
though
that's
my
right.
mother
Yeah.
was not shit,
I agree.
and my mother did me dirty as fuck.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Misha,
I would
she
never
still
do
reach out to you. So
She
at the end of the day,
But
she do, but
hasn't-
listen.
reached- but
listen,
no, you not
listen,
listening, fam.
listen. No, I
She
am
reaching
because I
out.
know
It's
your
a
mom very,
difference.
very
I
fucking
know
well.
you do, but it is a difference between reaching out on a regular basis
But
and reaching
you
out
don't know
2
what
years
she's going
later.
through. You know
I
your
don't
mama
care.
the way she is. So
I
I
don't
feel
care.
like at the
She a
time,
grandma. I don't care.
But if it wasn't for
She
what
is
she
a
did,
get her
grandma.
shit
you wouldn't know
together for
what's
her
right.
own kids. Why would she get her shit together for her grandkids?
Exactly my point.
So she having a moment
never
where
got
she
her
feel
shit
like
together
she's
for her
together.
kids.
Let her
Yeah.
see her grandkids.
No,
Like,
but Faith, let's be real though. You know the routine.
I do.
You
but
know the routine. Every 2 or 3 years, she
So
hits me
this
up.
is, but
I
this
want
is
to see
why
my
I don't agree with
grandson.
you. If you gonna ask
Since my
Messiah right
son-
now, he
But
gonna
let's
I ain't
be
gonna
real.
lie.
But
That's
he's gonna
sad.
want to see her, right? But let's
He
be
gonna
real
wanna see her.
though.
So
Since my
I'm not
son,
gonna take that
but
from my
Faith,
kids.
listen
That's what we're
though.
talking about.
Since my son has been born, 9 years ago, she's seen him 3 times in his fucking life.
But at the end of the day, if you gonna ask that boy right now,
he's gonna want to see her,
he's
right?
gonna want to go.
Cause he got a good heart. I don't got that heart.
Well, the thing is,
But you're
he's still
grown.
young
When
though.
you was
But
little,
you
Misha,
became who
I
you
don't give a
are
fuck.
when you
because
was
of
little
that
back in the
Because
day,
that's
you would
situation.
have
You
that
became
heart.
guarded because
You
of that
would.
situation.
Right.
But
I'm not
you
playing
wouldn't
no
know what was
part-time
wrong.
girl type
You
of shit.
like, come on, because I can really,
Right.
I can really get deep into
But would
this
you
shit.
do
Like,
it?
Hold
But
on,
would
hold
you
on,
I
do
can
it?
really get deep into this shit.
But
Like,
would you, Faith, would you do
your
it
mama
though?
like Drake and shit. Like, come on. My parents used to do
Faith,
drugs in the
would
show
you
that
do that?
At least, now you might disagree
not.
with me, sis.
I don't care.
But at least your mom is alive.
She's alive, correct, right?
Yeah, that means she have.
Do
Are
your
you gonna?
phone work? Hold on. Do your phone work, Tim?
I hope so. I know you're going
Correct.
at with this. I know you're going at.
Correct. Your phone work, right?
But what I'm getting at is,
My phone work, right?
oh gosh, Faith, you're not on the podcast right now.
Do your phone
We
work?
can't hear you.
Do your
It's a lot of emotion there. There's a lot of emotion
That's
there.
right, but she's hurt. But she's hurt. You know what
She
I'm
is
saying?
hurt, yeah.
Let's understand.
She is hurt.
Right.
Let's
Right.
understand something right now.
It's not
Right.
funny.
This queen she's hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
She's hurt.
That's the foundation, though.
She is a woman, and her mother has not been there for her. She's hurt. I'm not beating down her mom, but I just want to send some love and light to Mimi because it's evident that she's hurt. But I just want to say this because we're recording, even though Mimi is not sitting here.
Yes.
I have a phenomenal relationship with my mom now.
Right.
Right. It wasn't always like that.
Hey, I
Right.
just
It was
want
not
to. I want
always-
to say something. Dude.
Hold on 1 second, Kev.
Hold on.
Let me finish real quick. Just let me get this out.
Yeah.
I hated my mom. I'm about to get emotional right now because I feel her. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hated my mom.
Mhm.
I hated my mom. I blamed her for why I was sexually abused. I felt like if she never would have left me, that would have never happened to me. And from there, I was in the streets and I was going through so much shit and I dealt with the fucked up niggas and I dealt with the fucked up life and I dealt with not having nothing and having to be out in the streets hustling, trying to make shit happen. I blame my mom
Right.
because I felt like she abandoned me when I needed her as a woman.
Yeah.
As me coming into my womanhood, I left home at 16 and she let me go. And she thought she was doing the right thing. But at that time, I thought to myself, how come my own mother let me leave this house at 16 years old and I'm out here trying to figure out my life without her? How could she do that to me? But guess what? My boyfriend died, right? I had nobody, okay? My boyfriend, God rest the dead, I was with him for 11 and a half years from the age of 14 to 25. When I left home at 16, I went with him. I lived good times with him, but I went through some shit with this man, okay? My mom never really stepped in to help me figure that out. Right. And I blamed her for that too. He died. Boom. Conversation comes about, and I finally got bold enough to say, you know what? I don't like you. You hurt me. You abandoned me. I was molested because of you. I was in the streets because of you. It's your fault. It came out. And you know what she said? I'm sorry.
That's right.
You know why, Brittany? I'm sorry. Yeah. I did not know how to teach you. Yeah. I was still trying to figure out who the fuck I was. Right. I had you, and I didn't even know me. I didn't know how to take care of you. I didn't know how to teach you things. My mama ain't teach me shit. Right. And she was right. My grandma abandoned her. My grandma's husband raped my mom from the age of like 8 years old to maybe like 12. Raped, and I don't mean just molested. I mean, went in a bedroom with her and two of his daughters and fucked each little girl in the room, a grown-ass man. This woman could not teach me what I needed. Right. So I was so angry with her for not being there for me. But at the end of the day, she was so hurt herself. Yes. That same emotion that Mimi is sitting here with, my mother had. She was raped as a baby. She was fucking 8 years old, and a grown man was going in her bedroom fucking her and two of his daughters. Yeah. How could she teach me how to be who I needed to be? How can a person
repair damage?
You know what I'm saying? Right. So at that, like I said, people be in a process, man. Yes. Right. People be in a process still learning. And sometimes we have children and we're not yet who we're meant to be. And we can't teach them what we need, and we can't support them, and we can't be there for them because we don't fucking know ourselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a healing thing. But it's a healing thing that has to take place. Yes. And at the end of the day, if somebody cannot be to you who you need them to be, it's because they are not that for themselves. They don't know how. They can't. They're traumatized. They're hurt. They're abused. And they're trying to figure it out. Right. Yes. Right. And we got to learn to just accept that. We're all human, and you got to have grace.
I got to interject, Queen. I got to interject. That's a lot. I didn't know all that much.
And we all have a past.
Yeah. I will say this, though. The fact that you are now on good terms, communicating and having a relationship with your
great
mom.
Terms, yes.
Yeah, great terms. Good is an understatement. Great terms, phenomenal terms. That's hard for a lot of people. And the thing that I'm not gonna say I love about the situation, but the growth, the positivism from that is that y'all able to communicate.
Right. We had the hard conversation.
That's a hard conversation. That's a conversation where people crying. That's a conversation of pain, sweat, all of that shit. That's hard to have. I couldn't imagine the fact that if what I got from that main conversation is this: if y'all didn't pay attention, there was a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. Pain is being traveled. So you hear of Stockholm syndrome, you hear of battered woman syndrome. Look that up. Yeah, it's a real term, and the fact that y'all able to break the cycle. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you making sure that cycle
absolutely would because if I don't, what's gonna happen to my kids?
Right.
I gotta forgive my mom.
Right.
I'm with you.
I had to.
Imagine holding on to that trauma, and that's what I'm getting at for this conversation. It's a real deep conversation. Imagine holding on to that trauma. People want to know why they got diseases, why their blood pressure's up, why that's energy, unnecessary energy. And
why they have so much hatred in their heart.
At the same time, I can't sit here at this table and tell you that, like, let's say I can't forgive my mom. Like, no matter what path you took in that situation, who the fuck am I to even judge you on that? That's a lot. That is hard topics. But what's even more scarier, if you look up statistics, how common is that?
Very.
That's scary.
If somebody is on drugs, it's a reason. They trying to
cope with something.
They're trying to cope.
Right. Yeah.
Whether they speak about it or not, it's there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, and let me be clear, I am not dismissing Mimi She is
No.
She is a million% entitled to how she feels.
She's hurt.
She's hurt.
There's a wall there.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a security wall there.
She hasn't accepted that yet because, like with you, Brittany, like I've been in foster care since I was 7. My mom did drugs, lost us all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I went to go stay with my dad. I got out of the system. Mm-hmm. I came back in my early 20s back to North Carolina because I wanted my mom. I wanted my sisters. I wanted my family.
Right.
My mom did not change. Still, and then even to this day, she's clean now. Yeah. For now, but when my kids want to talk to her, I let them. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna take that away from them because she chose drugs over her kids. Mm-hmm. And there's times I'm mad because she's still, even though she's a drug addict. I mean, I will never understand that. I mean, I've done some shit, but I'm just the type that I can do shit and stop it.
Agreed.
And go on with my life.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need a drug to make me feel good. I choose to, but I can stop at any moment.
But you didn't walk in that life.
I didn't.
You can only walk.
I didn't.
Right.
My mom
might not be
is a
an
drug addict,
but
even to this day, like, she has like she suffers from mental illness,
and the drugs makes it worse.
It does. Yeah. But she's been clean, she's working and stuff, but I don't tell my kids about that because I want to give them an opportunity to love her and for them to maybe, for her to love them. But even to this day, like she can do so much better, but she doesn't. But I don't hold that against her because I'm like, you know what?
Because it's power
she can't help
over you.
It.
Right. Yeah. But its power would be on you if you.
Right.
But I realized at a young age, if I blame my parents for all my downfalls, they have power over me that they don't need. And so I had to relinquish all that negativity.
Right. But I hated her. I hated
of course.
my mother because I'm just like, I was in the foster system. My dad caught whiff of it. He got me out immediately. He was in prison, but still, my aunt, his sister, took me out. And she raised me in Texas. And then when he got out, I went to stay with him.
Right.
It was great because, I was here in North Carolina. I was bad as fuck. I was doing shit I have no business doing, like everything.
Me too.
And so now it's just like I got to see both worlds, because my other family is white. But I live the best of both worlds now because now I know, like, I have to be better for my kids.
Right.
I may have done drugs in the past, and I have, it's no secret. I have, but you know what? I bounced back from that because I don't want to be like my mother. I want to be better than my mother. I want to give my kids something that I never had. And what I didn't have is I never had my mother. I had, my family. But at the same token, my aunt took me in, but her husband molested me. And I had to live with that.
Why is that a comment? I see that as a common
had to live with that. But I got out of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give my mom a second chance. I knew I blamed her for so much. I moved back to North Carolina. I tried to, have a relationship with her.
Right.
It didn't go nowhere. So now I forced myself to have a relationship with her because if I don't reach out to her, she's just going to be in her own little role. It's like her kids still don't matter. Her grandkids still don't matter, but I'm forcing it to matter
It's
to
a
her.
possibility that she just can't live with the guilt of knowing that she's not been able to be there for y'all.
Oh, she
and it's
can.
hard. It's probably hard to even face y'all.
She's a whole different breed. I mean, she suffers with mental illness things, and it's things that like my older sister
and drugs perpetuated
had
too.
to get me to accept. Like, look, she don't realize these things because she never really had to take care of us. But when I think about my childhood, she was a great mother. We came home from school, she would have a snack. She made us eat our vegetables, things like that. She was a good mom. Like when I think about it, but it's just her addiction just got in the way.
It had to be her past.
And I felt like she didn't fight hard enough to get us back at all. But in the reality, what I come to realize is back in those days, social service would keep your kids.
Right.
Like, and it was her own best friend who called on her. Her best friend. My mom was a functioning addict. She can do whatever drugs she chose to do, but she made sure her house stayed clean.
Right.
She made sure her kids was good.
Right. Okay. That makes
sense. So I forgive her. But it's just like, okay, like I'm grown now. I moved back here. I want my kids a part of your life. Do better by them. You still don't do that as much as you could, but you do try.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't hold her accountable for doing less whenever she's trying.
Right. But look at it like this, Queen. Second Queen.
Absolutely.
Pain, if you think about all the pain that you went through, the unimaginable pain, the pain that y'all didn't even talk about, the pain that y'all don't want to remember. If you think about the good, the bad, and the ugly, do you think like? And I'm not saying like the pain is necessary. It's very unnecessary. It sucks that you had to go through what the fuck y'all went through. I wouldn't blame that on anybody. Like I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But what I'm getting at is, look at where you at today. Mm-hmm. Do you think that pain? Because everybody I've met, they went through some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit that you have to go through.
That's made me into the person I am today, and I wouldn't take it back for the world.
Right.
Me either.
Like, I mean, I went through some shit. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just be better. I'm gonna do better. Mm-hmm. And here
that's
I am now.
Lot. That's a lot. I ain't gonna lie. That's a lot. I'm thinking about all the times like my parents used to do some fucked up shit. And again, I always think I had the worst life when I was little. But when I get older and I hear other people's experiences, it's like, yo, what the fuck am I complaining about?
Exactly.
You know? Like I didn't know it was a project that I was living in until I got older. I thought everybody was in a project.
Nope.
You know?
I got my kids out of the projects. We don't live in the projects at all. I got us out because I want my kids to have more than what I ever had.
That's right.
You know, and what I lacked as a child, I'm giving my kids 10 times more.
That's how you do
But
it.
no matter your situation, I feel like with or without kids, you be the man you are right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Period.
that.
I feel that way. I feel strongly about that.
I should have a set of balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that look at the man's character, look at his stature, look at how he thinks, and the way he's principled. With the people that was in his life, you would, if you outside looking in, you wouldn't been able to see that.
Right.
But I know for a fact you are the man that
and
you
that
are.
goes to every reason why
because
how
of your
men
own
treat
reasoning,
women.
your
Like
own principle.
women go through so much more than a man could ever imagine going through.
I'm gonna give the credit to the reason why the way I am who I am is my grandmother. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I don't think I had these ideologies that I'm having. I wouldn't always question the status quo or status quo, right? I question everything. Mm-hmm. I feel like anybody who went through anything they had to go through, they had to go through. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. Yep. I don't think it's fair that some people have to go through the shit that they got to go through. However, they had to go through it.
Yes.
I don't know why. But when you look at it, it's not how you fall. It's not the trials or tribulations. It's how you stand back up.
It's
how you carry yourself. It's how you grow from it. And you don't forget because you have to reflect. And reflection is very, very important. When I meditate, I look at my past things that I've done that I can't talk about on the podcast. Mm-hmm. I look at some of the situations that my parents did to make sure I'm good. You know, a lot of parents make sacrifices, and sometimes we don't understand why they make that sacrifice, or we don't understand what they did, how to do, or we don't know the whole equation.
You don't know their story.
But I feel here a lot of people always blame the parent. Oh, my life is, at least they didn't have an abortion. At least you here. You know what I mean? Like, and not to negate from people who did have abortion. What I'm getting at is, look how far y'all came.
And that's my whole point of it. You know, I will not. I don't even feel like me and my mom would have this harmonious relationship that we have now if we had not been through what we went through and overcame the situation.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's a lot of people that take their relationship with their parents for granted because they didn't really go through anything with them. Mm-hmm. So they just grew up. Life was good. They provided. Shit started getting fucked up for them. Fuck you, mom. Fuck you, dad. No. You know,
and shit is like that.
Yeah, and that's what it is. But I went through that, and going through that, I learned so much about my lineage. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom told me her story. Mm-hmm. She was transparent. She told me things that she never wanted to tell me as a child. Mm-hmm. And what she could not. And what she said to me was, "There's a lot of things I want to tell you that I've been waiting to tell you. I've been waiting to tell you because I've been just waiting for you to get to the right state of mind for you to just receive what I'm saying."
Yeah.
And that was the thing. My mom could not get to me because I hated her so much.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time for her to try to explain to me why. So all those years, she just let it. You know, I was manic. I had bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed at the age of 14. I was medicated till the age of 32. Mm-hmm. And when I would go into my manic episodes, my mom would go sometime months without even speaking to me because I would scream at her and curse her out. And
you're so angry.
Yeah, I was so angry, like the internal anger and frustration, the hurt, the pain, the lack of understanding. That's really what it was.
Right.
It was the lack of understanding. But now that I am the woman I am today, hell motherfucking no, I wouldn't change nothing because I'm a boss ass queen.
Right.
Okay.
You hear what I'm saying? Like I can sit at a table with women and I can sit at the table with men.
Yep.
I can chill here like we an everyday person. And guess what? I'll get up the next day and go to my boss ass business that's successful, that's doing well. You know, go to my good, beautiful 4-bedroom home where my children have their own rooms and we're living comfortable, but it has not always been like that. I've slept on couches. Okay, while and put my kids on in one bedroom, and I slept in the living room because I had no fucking where to go and no way to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But being able to overcome those things and have understanding and forgive.
Yes.
And forgive.
I was just about to say that you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive
You
because
have to forgive to be at peace. I'm more at peace than I have ever been.
Yeah.
Coming into connection with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I embrace this shit.
Right.
My mom went through some shit and she couldn't be who she wanted to be
And who we
to
needed
me
her to
and who
be.
I needed or what I thought I needed
Right.
at the time. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I'm doing is I'm healing the lineage.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
You're making sure the repetition of
By healing with my mom, my children will not know that type of relationship with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a new woman. I'm a better woman. I am a more understanding person. And not only do I now have grace with my mom, but guess what? I got grace with myself.
That's right.
I'm not so abusive to myself.
Yep.
I'm not, oh, you so stupid. Why did you do that? I used to say shit like that to
and
myself.
The words are very
oh,
powerful.
you should be here by now. You should have this. You should have that. You're not here yet. Just so beaten up. You know why? Because I was like that with her because I'm doing the same shit to myself.
Continue that.
But just accepting me. Accepting where I am in life. You know what I'm saying? Accepting that I'm human. I'm not perfect. I had to learn, like Kev was saying, you can't just forget the process. I'm not just gonna sit here and outcast my family that hasn't been there for me because if it wasn't for how things happen, I would not be the woman I am today. So because of that, I ain't got no choice but to appreciate it.
I just wanted y'all to understand, like I know y'all, you know, it's different for females because y'all go through like stuff with the dad and all that. I went through the same thing. My dad was on drugs, my mom was on drugs. Only difference is I stopped my mom from doing drugs. I beat up her friends. The motherfuckers come over there, I beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? I sat down and talked to my mom. My mom told me how she got raped by her dad and all this stuff. Like, it's the same thing. At the end of the day, I sat down with my mom and we made an agreement. I told her, yo, I stopped smoking. You stop smoking. So like after a while, it took me to love on my mom and get her to understand that I love you. Like, fuck this, like nobody don't fucking love you. Like nobody don't love you.
Love
like,
is the key.
Sit back and really analyze that. That's why I said that's why I realized like I'm just a different person, bro. Cause at the end of the day, I went through the same shit. My dad used to beat me abusively. I'm talking about like my dad used to beat me like I was like an op. You know what I'm saying? I stopped my mom from doing that shit. I got my mom the job she got now.
With love.
I had did a lot of that shit because at the end of the day, I got tired of that shit. Ain't no fucking way. Like they say in that thing, ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no fucking way. Like,
but think about this, kid. You still loved her. You didn't do what I did.
But that's why I'm saying
you chose to still love her.
I was just trying to tell y'all,
saying?
like we go through similar things,
right?
But it's all on.
But that's the beauty.
All on how you like
the sad
come at
thing
the
is,
situation. Like I'm them.
But ain't that the beauty out of life?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You ever met somebody who had everything handed to them? They don't understand struggle. They don't appreciate life.
They won't.
When you go through pain, the one person I always crease. If you see this episode, shout out to you, bro. Much love. He saw his mom got burned to death. You understand? Like she screamed. His uncle threw him on the back of a Nissan truck. And I know you don't mind me telling your story, but that when he told me his story of what happened to him. The pain and trauma in his eyes, I was crying with him.
I don't care how much your mom hurt you. You see some shit like that,
hold on,
and it's your mom.
When I'm getting at it, bro, is pain is necessary for growth.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what my life would be at if I saw my mom. It's not good to compare and contrast what somebody's life went through to yours. You know what I mean? Like I heard you earlier. Oh, well, you know, I've been through this to this. I'm not saying what everybody been through is worse or not worse. What I'm saying is we can't compare and contrast. But when Creed's mom burned up in that fire, and his uncle threw him on the back of that Nissan truck as he escapes the village, I'm picturing my mom screaming. I couldn't. And the fact that he's living a productive life, that takes a very, very, very strong willpower and resilience. Mm-hmm. The fact that I just air hustled with what Queen just went through, that takes a lot of resilience and willpower. Mm-hmm. The fact that I hear what my sis Erica went through, that takes the same thing, resilience and willpower.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the world, this country, I can't talk about the world, they underestimate willpower of females. You know, I read in an article also that unfortunately trauma is passed down from generation to generation.
Epigenetics.
It is.
And I was like, wait, what?
It's what
you know?
choose to do with it.
When I hear Queen Brittany unfortunate, like to me that's still like resonating. When I hear about that negativism that she went through, it's repetitive because her mom been through the same thing, if not worse.
Her mother my mother went through worse, and her mother went through even worse than her.
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely.
And that, I feel like that's so, and I've been hearing like it's sad that we have to go through that. Like you can't compare nobody pain and philosophy and ideology and all that shit, but it's how you get up. The fact that she could easily be in a mental institution, y'all. Mm-hmm. Like, and even her mom could be in a mental institution or on drugs. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like we question people and hold them to a certain standard, and it's not good to do that. It really ain't. That's what I was just talking about earlier. Which
I was just trying to tell her, how you got to learn, but I see how somebody can throw their guard up so hard.
Absolutely.
That you not even...
You got to, though, sometimes.
Like, you know, it's going to take a lot more for a person like that to be able to understand, because at the end of the day, it's like you just put up a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there and explain. Like, think about it. You looking for good men. I'm trying to explain what a good man to do. And it's like,
no.
She ain't got the intention.
It all comes down to not just a man or woman. It comes down if somebody have pretend gestures of admiration or hidden agendas. If the two parties communicate and they let them know that this is what I want out of life, A, B, C, D, and they agree with that, then it should work, right? But unfortunately, we live in a world where we have our guard so much up that sometimes we can't communicate effectively out of fear, out of retribution, out of the fact that somebody might, oh shit, I can't tell them my whole master plan.
Just
they might,
out of trauma.
Well, out of trauma too. Yeah, that's
right,
the main
Queen.
one. You have to have your guard up.
I see how hard it is for this, you know.
Even it's some shit like even my problem with I hate getting help from people. I have a real problem with that. Mm-hmm. But see, I'm aware enough to know it, right? Yeah. So if you understand that you have a problem, then that means you have a way to fix it. Mm-hmm. But me being the nigga that I am, I refuse. Like certain shit, prime example, my homeboy, shout out to Tayshawn. He's like, if you need anything for the podcast, let me know. Nah, bro. I don't want nobody saying they had to. I'd rather just learn it and do it the hard way, you know? Me, get whatever I need to get, or shout out to my producer, he get whatever he need to get. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'm over here rambling. This is Great Apes Cafe. I hope that you like, subscribe, share before I actually start closing this topic or topics. Man, this was a rough episode, but I ain't gonna lie, it ain't rough. It's also heavy.
We just talk about real shit. Real life shit.
Oh, that's heavy. Aaron, you gotta do a lot of editing on some of that screaming part. But I would say this is not negating. Shout out to my queen, my sis, Misha. Yeah. It's not negating from anything that she went through. We all have respect for you. I love you, Queen.
We do.
And I hope that when you see this, I hope you don't think that we have any pretend gestures of admiration and hidden agendas.
My heart is with you, Queen. So, seriously.
I pray for absolution for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be clear. You know what I'm saying? Well, whatever you do in life, don't let the past dictate your present.
Yeah, I know how she feels.
Just let the past set you free.
That's it.
Right.
Ooh, I like that.
I just wish she can see. I just hope like she'd be able to.
It's not her time. It's not her time.
Yeah, I just hope she'd be able to see that other side though, because at the end of the day, like Like, man, bro, like I really used to like never stay home, bro. Like, my mom was like drugged out, bro, but she always had a crib and all that. But at the end of the day, like I just like to be real with y'all, like when I started getting 18, 19, I just started to get to know my mom and dad.
It be like that.
Because at the end of the day, like I've been like in my own mind. But like just knowing my parents was on drugs, like Tim said, I always learn from my grandma or or somebody.
My grandmother.
Me too.
I ain't never really learned from my parents, bro. Like
my grandmother taught me how to read.
But with what you do know, it makes you want to be a better man.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to tell you, like my mom tell you right now, like I feel like I had saved her life. My dad, I wasn't able to get to my dad. My dad was just like a whole different type of person, but I always sit back and just think how my mom met my dad. And you gotta think about that that's why I was trying to tell, I'm trying to tell y'all females, like when you go out there and you really meet somebody, just really think about what you're doing. You know what I mean? Really think about who you're talking to.
Nah. I disagree. Have your guard up.
I mean, but
you gotta really think about who you're talking to.
You know what? This is how I feel. I don't regret none of my past dudes. Shout out to all y'all. Okay? I don't regret you. I don't regret them.
Right.
Because I was supposed to learn something from them.
Without them, you wouldn't be where you are.
I wouldn't be where I am. Facts. Like at the end of the day, they came through and some hurt. You know what I'm saying? Right. Some situations hurt, but at the end of the day, it was a lesson to be learned for me to move on to the next phase.
Right.
So I'm not about to knock them. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. You taught me. I learned how to set boundaries. I learned what I wanted, what I didn't want. I wanted a certain type of guy. I would get him, then I'd be like, oh no, this ain't even what I want at all. You know what I'm saying?
And you know who you are.
It's a learning.
Shout out to building your perfect guy off your exes, really.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
I tried to tell them earlier, man, it's a learning process. Just like the car thing I said, if you don't know how to change that oil, you got to take the time to learn how to change that.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
All the mothers.
And I want to say, man, a mother is going to be short, this year. And I want to say rest in peace to my boy Ian Wallace. And God bless Donna Wallace because she raised, two great children, you know what I'm saying? And I lost a real one, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be there for his mama the same way he was there for his mama. And it is what it is. I love you, bro. That's real shit, man. I miss you, bro. Real talk.
Yeah.
That's just my condolences.
Sleep in peace, King.
This is Great Apes Cafe. I hope that you like, subscribe, share. And I hope that you take this one lesson from this episode if you ever take anything. Pain is necessary to grow in life. And if you don't have no pain, then you really ain't got no life.
Grow from it. Let it go.
No
Forgive
doubt.
and forget. Never forget, but forgive.
Absolutely. Peace, y'all.
Y'all, that episode.
Peace. Gang, gang.